PropTech and construction tech are maybe two of these sectors that really got a boost from the corona pandemic, because as you know, the pandemic really changed, for example, the work environment. So the office is completely different now than it was before the pandemic. And so everybody needs to adapt to that new work from home, work from anywhere paradigm. So it's one of the aspects where the industry is changing. And that's of course good for startups, good for the companies we're investing in. I think we're quite now seeing in Europe and elsewhere that ESG regulation is really a big thing and it's here to stay. And so every asset owner, every asset manager needs kind of to adapt to the new reality there. And so speaking of real estate, so the built environment is responsible for like 40% of the CO2 emissions. So that's really huge. So obviously there will be lots of changes. So for example, we're investing in companies that are modernizing existing real estate because we need to solve that legacy issue, transform existing real estate, make it green, if you want to say so. That's a massive business opportunity, but of course it's also good to reduce the CO2 budgets. So the real estate environment is really ripe for disruption in a way. And I would say it's like three aspects that are specifically interesting. Number one is the overall digitization of every process from construction, planning, financing, building, everywhere. You can still raise efficiencies. And as it's such a large asset class, so even if you have a small efficiency increase, it's big business for a startup and therefore interesting for an investor. The second part is of course ESG technology. So we already covered that briefly. And the third one is, let's say, customer-centric new products. So think about the flexible office, think about new ways to rent out flats, furnished apartments, co-living and stuff like that. So that really is, for the very first time in real estate, business models that are born out of focusing on the consumer interest and not just doing a contractual thing for a 10-year rental contract that is inefficient, not flexible. It's either too large or too small for the tenant at the end of the day. So focusing on customer centricity is, I think, the third topic that's very interesting as an investment thesis within PropTech. It's absolutely brilliant to meet people face-to-face again. For us also, SuperVenture or SuperReturn is very interesting to meet people outside the real estate ecosystem, because this is where currently our LP base is mainly coming from. Yeah, so to meet more traditional, more institutional, international LPs, I think this is a very good conference to be at as an EGT.